Hey, Kurt Mortensen here. Welcome to Maximize Your Influence. How do you get your prospects or anybody to be more accountable, to keep their deadlines, to have more urgency? There are ways to do this. Otherwise, people are going to procrastinate. They're not going to do it. They'll put it off as long as possible. They'll say they'll be back. They say they're going to think about it. They say they're going to do it, but they don't. How do you put more stick into your deadlines, into your urgency? Let's talk about it. Now, I know when you talk about scarcity and urgency, this has been abused and overused. Some of you people you work with always keep their deadlines. Some people don't. So let's talk about creating that urgency, that scarcity, getting someone to keep a deadline. Let's just talk about that. Whether it be a deadline at work, deadline with your contract, deadline with someone to say yes. Let's talk about it. Here's the first one. It helps when they know why. Why the contract expires in 2 weeks, right? Product, services, prices are going to go up. You have to tell them why. Make sure it's legitimate in their mind. It's believable to them. Make sure they know where they fit in the process, that if they can't get it done by Friday, that it screws you up and then it screws somebody else up. And then the whole company goes in a downward spiral, however you want to put it. Where they fit, the why is very important. That's number one. Number two, micro deadlines. Micro deadlines are always more persuasive than big deadlines. An overwhelmed brain says no. It might be too big in their brain, too much to do. They just don't know how to do it. It's always easier in the world of sales and persuasion to get 3 small yeses than 1 big yes. In the world of deadlines and urgency, 3 micro deadlines better than 1 big deadline. Are you with me? So make those micro deadlines. A lot of brains, especially get younger in the workforce, a lot more better with maybe a weekly deadline instead of a monthly deadline. It's number 2. Let's get to number 3. And you know this one, reminders. Little reminders. Get it to stick on top of the brain and make sure they're all different. Maybe it's a pop-in, maybe it's an email, maybe it's a text, maybe it's a phone call, maybe it's somebody else you know reminding them. Whatever you could do, the more reminders you get, the key here is to make them as different as possible. You don't want to be harping on them every day the same way. That gets old and causes resistance. It's number 3. Number 4, accountability. Just let them know they're the only one who hasn't turned it in, that hasn't done it, that hasn't made a decision. Put up a Google Doc or a spreadsheet. Everyone that's done it's in green, those who have it's in red. It could be on a bulletin board. It could be when people walk in. Just a subtle shaming, we can call it. To we're like, dude, everyone else has decided they're doing it. They've done their part. Where's your part? Social accountability. And number 5, and this is important with any form of scarcity of urgency, because a law of scarcity is one of the 12 laws of persuasion and maximum influence, is reward. A lot of personalities do better when you buffer your scarcity, your urgency, your deadline with some type of reward. Yeah, the sale ends today, but you know what? If you make a decision today, we can double your data. Yeah, I need to know by Friday. When you do that, I can extend the warranty. I need to have your decision by today. You do it today, we'll take Friday afternoon off. Whatever it is, buffer with some type of reward makes the deadline, the urgency, the accountability stick. Otherwise, if they have all the time in the world to think about it, they will take all the time in the world to do it, to make a decision, to purchase your product or service, or whatever you're trying to persuade them to do. Work on these skills. It makes a huge difference. Go to MaximizeYourInfluence.com. I just finished a podcast on creating greater urgency, especially in marketing and in sales. Take a look on that. It's also on Spotify, iTunes, and iHeart. Hey, hit like, hit subscribe, tell your family, friends, and enemies. And also go to MaximizeYourInfluence.com to take your free Persuasion IQ assessment to see where you rank. Get the free book, Maximum Influence, or find out about our advanced persuasion and influence tools. Get out there, do it, make it happen, and persuade with power.